various levels of acquaintances and friends. And about the sixth time when I was going through this process, and I discovered I had attachments to all kinds of things I've never even thought about. And one was a bank. This bank came, wow, anything you come energetically and connected with, you have an attachment to it. And we don't think about that. You're not just your friends, but your activities, places you go. And I had a friend in grade school, and she moved away. So we kept in touch. She moved to Iran because her dad was a doctor and sent over there by the army. And so we would write letters and kept in touch for years. I would live out at her house because it was a nice, safe place to be. Because of my background, it was a safe place to hang out. And so as we became adults and married, we ended up getting together and visiting and continued as we were still now adults. But things changed, and I realized I had been attached to her emotionally as a support person because I didn't have any friends or choices when I was a child. And even though we really no longer had those things in common like we used to, I was still hanging on to it from all those years because it was the only, I couldn't trust my parents because they fought every night. I won't go into all the details of my family growing up, but it was like the only thing I could trust, so to speak, was her situation, being there for me. And of course, we outgrew the relationship over time. So we need to also identify our spiritual connections that might have been buried for various reasons that are stopping our spiritual growth. And so, guess what? Cayce says physical is the result. Fear is what is causing a separation from God. So if we're in fear, ego, negative, anything of those low vibrations that was on my chart, we're actually separated from God, from the love and light and peace. And we're not getting the energy into our bodies that we are really actually needing for a complete life of fullness, being fulfilled. So the whole trick is to move from being separated from God, we're moving into being congruent. We're moving into being the God that created us inside. And instead of being separate, we're becoming one. A lot of people talk about oneness. And there's other ways, everything is all created as equal. Those kinds of things if you're with Edgar Cayce. So that's what we're doing is as we clean out every part of our being, so to speak, now we can come into being congruent, and the energy of our creation now can come in. The fear can leave, because if we identify it, then we can release it. If you can't identify it, a simple way to explain it would be your denial. I have not purposely been in denial about various things, but it's like peeling the onion. And as you find these things that you need to release that are still blocking the love of God in your life, more will be revealed. More comes up, you peel the onion again. And I've been doing this for 39 years now, and I'm still peeling the onion. I finally was able, when it's the right time for you, it'll come up. I was finally able to understand where I had jealousy. I never thought I was jealous. My parents were in the Great Depression. I never had an allowance. I didn't have money. I didn't have what the other kids had. I never thought that was jealousy. I just wasn't going to have it. That's how I was raised. I finally realized I was jealous. It's taken me all this onion peeling to realize how deep that was, because it was from way back in early childhood. So all those emotions have to come up and be expressed. If you can't let them out, the good emotions can't come in. When you release and let go and let God of those negative behaviors, false beliefs, all those things that are blocking off the sunlight of God, when you release it, it leaves a void. and nature abhors a void. So you have to fill it. And I fill it, and I say, God, humbly replace it with love and grace. If you don't replace it with something that you really want or the end result of what you want, anything can come in and then you get to release that. So you might as well put in what you truly want when you release something, so that void gets filled with something hopefully positive, lovingly solutions to your situations. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'll read some directions and then we'll go into this meditation and we'll go through all the chakras, and in your quietness of the meditation, you will be able to identify things that you may need to release. And you can walk out of here today with cleaner chakras. Do you mind if I pull up a chair to stand through all of this?
Do you want me to bring it up for you?
Oh, would you? Yes, and just face everybody. And then I'm just... Now, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, just face it. Perfect. This is perfect. Okay. Thank you very much, Gail. Okay. So we'll go through some directions and then we'll get into it. So it has, have you been feeling out of sort with the world around you lately? Heavy of spirit or depressed? The reason may be that you have courted by others, which is dragging you down and limiting your progress. Some of you may have been through this class or have cleansed your chakras before, but if you're feeling any of the above, it's time to cleanse again. So this is something you can do more than once. In my case, I have. This is an ongoing process. We must cleanse to prepare us for the ascension process. And that means we're ascending out of the duality of good and bad, right and wrong, judgment, criticism. We're ascending into the all there is love. We're getting out of duality into oneness. For those who are new to this, the cords being talked about are energy projections that run from yourself to another, and sometimes animals too. These cords are generally attached to others' bodies. The size may vary, but most of the diameters from a pencil to a quarter, depending on how much you're corded. If you're working, pardon me, I'm out of breath. If you are wondering how you got corded, it's very simple. No one is ever corded unless there is an okay from the other person. Much of the time, it's subconscious. That's why we're not really usually up to this, because we don't even think about it. I lost my place now. Know that there are no victims, only volunteers. Remember, all cords have an intent or purpose to them, either positive or negative. And if you find yourself doing something you really didn't want to do, you've no doubt unknowingly let someone cord you. It would be a good idea to meditate on this to determine the reason why. The best way is to remove the cord, to mentally twist or turn the cord until it is loose and pull it all the way out using your intent. While removing the cord, you may want to physically go through the action, which will make the process seem more real to you. After the cord is removed, other mentally and physically clean the empty space by digging, brushing, or vacuuming it out, whatever way is best for you. Yeah, I like to think of a vacuum cleaner, it sucks it out. Yeah. It is important to remember all cords to return all cords to the sender with love. It is not necessary to know who or where they came from. Just always send a cords back with love. This is very important for your own protection. It is best not to rip out the cord, as you may leave a part of them in. This may cause you to replay the experience over and over again. Also, it can fester. For a quick fix, though, you can cut cords all with one sweep over the chakra energy centers like a machete. This then seals the cords.
Marilyn, is that a cord like a C-O-R-D, like an electrical cord?
It's like a string or a piece of wire.
Okay.
It's a very thin light, and you might. I'm trying to think of something that might. Like a string,
Okay.
you know, a ball of string, and it's cut up into lengths in your cord to these things. These strings attach
Oh, I get you. I
Okay.
understand now.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as possible, after doing a proper removal of the cords and cleansing the area, don't forget to send the cord back with love. Always remember that you should also draw back to yourself any cords that you sent out to others. This will release any unkind thoughts and bring yourself a greater feeling of peace as you reclaim your power. These cords may be released back to the universe to cleanse and the energy used for a higher purpose. When the chakra centers have been cleansed and filled with light, you may reconnect any cords that you feel you need, such as your children, spouse, special pets. There's nothing wrong with being corded. It's the ones that are blocking the light from being able to connect to keep you in the space you truly want to be in. Actually, this is kind of a process of being in the world but not of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because of the time frame we're in, it's time to clear the last of the baggage that has become attached. We must release all of this stuff before we can make our ascension. In the book, The Crystal Stair by St. Michael says that it's time to sever your attachments to your limitations. The people that are here today are more than likely star seeds or light workers. I'm sure anybody that's been at this retreat, you're all part of our group of that. Have been asleep for a very long time and are in the process of waking up. And you've been immersed in darkness for a very long time. And so we're coming out of the darkness and bringing more light into our lives, and that's what this ascension's about. And in fact, my last book explains how it got started, in the darkness. You have not forgotten your higher selves. You have not forgotten your purpose. It has not been easy for you to remember as you act upon this, yet you have done so. Know that as you release your attachments, cords, and chakra energies, you will not suddenly stop loving all the people in your lives that you have come to love and be with. It is the attachment to these beings which inhibits the flow of love. You can love much more profusely if you're free and open and channeling love. There is a slogan called live and let live. So what you're doing is you're allowing the person to have their own experience, and you're having your experience, because you can't change anybody else, right? And if they're upset, you don't have to be upset, right? So this gives you more of your identity or sovereignty. Are there any questions before we actually get started? Do you want to stay in the sunlight, or do you want to move?
No, I'm thinking about moving.
Yeah.
I was right there.
Would it be okay if I opened the windows to let a cross breeze go through? I mean, are you kind of?
I give permission, yeah.
I
Thank
think
you for
that'd be
thinking
good.
of
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of warm.
Go ahead.
Okay. Kind of, yeah. We'll all help.
Excuse me. Okay. Good.
We're going to get some air.
Yeah, right. We'll blow out the negative cords.
Yes.
They'll fly up.
So if a cord has been there for like a really long time, and it's like you know how when you thread and then you drop like a bunch of different balls together and it's like all tangled in there. You're supposed to unwind all that before you just like cut it there.
Well, you can actually, some people like to twist them out so that when you cut the cords, you don't really want ends that are not healthily solved. I mean, you want some kind of cord that's not going to be left open and exposed, so to speak. So when you cut the cord, instead of actually cutting it, it's suggested sometimes that you just think of it as twisting it out.
Oh,
Twisting it and like, never mind.
Oh, okay, does that help you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so if everybody's ready and comfortable, begin by sitting or lying quietly. If you want to lie down, there's a nice rug here. Take a few deep breaths, releasing all the tension of the day and asking your higher power, your higher self, and your spirit guides to assist you. Give your intent to remove all the cords attached to you now. Bring your awareness to your first root chakra at the base of the spine. This is your survival center. You are going to remove any blockages, barriers, fears, limitations, and old, outdated patterns around any survival issues you may have had this lifetime or in a past life. Any health issues can be released. Any physical drama or trauma in your life, if you have ever had a hard time having enough money or a good home or enough to eat. Anytime you're tortured yourself from dieting throughout this life, any past life surrounding your survival, and past life when you died in challenging ways. This cord represents someone wants a mother, someone wants to get you to do it for them, someone is dying and uses you as a weight to stay. And we will give you a few seconds to actually identify and remove those cords that would be indicated with the first chakra. All cords you've attached to anyone, breathe them back in with love to be cleansed and purified and returned to the universe to be reused now. When ready, fill this chakra with light and love, knowing you are and can be limitless on a survival level. Bring your awareness to your second chakra, about 2 inches below your navel. This is your emotional and sexual center. You are going to remove any blockages, barriers, fear, limitation, and old, outdated patterns around your emotions or sexuality. Anytime you couldn't express your emotions and you had to keep them inside. Sometimes someone invalidated your feelings. Anytime you got the message that it was wrong to be a sexual being, or someone who judged you or you judged yourself. And any past life where you felt guilty, anger, hatred, bitterness, jealousy, fear, or fear of intimacy. This cord represents someone wants you to feel how someone wants you to feel about them, the way they want you to do it. All right, I'll give you a few minutes to cleanse that chakra. All cords you have attached to anyone else, Breathe them back in with love to be cleansed and purified and returned to the universe to be reused now. Fill this chakra with light and love, knowing that you are limitless in your ability to express your emotions in healthy and harmonious ways, as well as express your sexuality in ways that are nurturing and beneficial to you. Bring your awareness into your third solar plexus chakra, located at your navel. This is your will and your will center, willpower. You are going to remove any blockages, barriers, fears, limitations, and old, outdated patterns surrounding your willpower or power struggles such as bosses. All the times you felt like a victim. All the times you gave up your will to someone else by giving your power away to them. All the times you felt inferior to anyone. Any past life when you abused your power. This lifetime when you abused your power. Any past life or present life when you allowed your power to be abused. This cord represents someone wants to get you to do something their way. Clean the chakras now. You'll have a few minutes. Fill all cords you have attached to anyone else, breathe them back in with love, to be cleansed and purified, and return to the universe to be reused now. And fill this chakra with light and love, knowing that you are limitless in your ability to be self-empowered. Knowing that you are limitless in your ability to put your energy out into the world and manifest what you need or want in healthy and harmonious ways. Now bring your awareness into your fourth heart chakra between your breasts, and this is your love and affinity center. You are going to remove any blockages, barriers, fears, limitations, and old, outdated patterns surrounding your love for yourself and others. And all things you ever judged yourself for anything. All the times you felt that you were not good enough. All the times other people told you you weren't good enough and you believed them. All the other times you said to yourself, I hate you, I hate myself. Anytime someone has said, I hate you. All the heartaches you have felt in this lifetime, or in any past life when you were still having heartaches. All the times when your lover wasn't returned. All the times when your love wasn't returned. No, they were wrong. You are good enough. You are perfect, exactly the way you are. This card represents someone wants you to love or not love his or her way. Cleanse the chakras now. All cords you have attached to anyone else, breathe them back in with love to be cleansed and purified and returned to the universe to be reused now. When ready, fill this chakra with light and love, knowing that you are limitless in your ability to have unconditional love for yourself and others. Knowing that you are limitless in your ability to allow yourself to let others love you unconditionally. Knowing that you are good enough exactly the way you are, that you are exactly who you are meant to be right now, all the way down to the core of your being. Bring your awareness to your 5th chakra, your throat chakra. This is your communication center. You are going to remove any blockages, barriers, fears, limitations, or outdated patterns surrounding your communication with others. Anytime you didn't say what it was you wanted to say, anytime you didn't tell your truth, anytime you were told someone else's truth, or you told someone else's truth, because you knew that's what he or she wanted to hear. Anytime you lied to yourself or to someone else. Anytime someone else lied to you. Anytime you felt you put your foot in your mouth and you judged yourself for it. Anytime someone told you children should be seen and not heard. And anytime someone judged your intelligence and told you that you were stupid, or anytime you told yourself that you were stupid, and any past life when you were hung or beheaded, or in some way your communications were blocked. This cord represents someone wants you to say or not say what he or she wants to hear. What someone wants you to say or not say what he or she wants to hear. And now it's time to clear that chakra. All cords you attach to anyone else, breathe them back in with love to be cleansed and purified and returned to the universe to be reused now. Now fill this chakra with light and love, knowing that you are limitless in your capacity to express your truth. Knowing that you are limitless in your capacity to use your intelligence to say exactly what you want to say in exactly the form you want to say it. Bring your awareness to your 3rd eye chakra, the 6th chakra, in the center of your forehead. This is your psychic and perceptive center. You are going to remove any blockages, barriers, fears, limitations, and old, outdated patterns surrounding your intuition, your perceptions, and your creativity. Also, anytime you didn't pay attention to your own psychic abilities, or anytime someone told you that you were stupid for trying to utilize your 6th sense, Anytime someone told you that you were foolish for attending workshops geared to enhancing your intuitive powers. Anytime someone judged your perceptions of things and said, I can't believe you didn't know that was going to happen. All the times you judged yourself in that same manner. Anytime you said, I should have known, I should have seen, or I should have caught it ahead of time. Anytime you or someone else judged your creativity. All the times when you thought that you were not creative. All the times you had opportunities to use your creativity and you didn't. Any past life when you were burned at the stake. Any past life when you were judged for using your intuition. Any past life when you were persecuted for your perception of things. Any past life when you stopped yourself or were stopped by someone for being creative. This cord represents someone wants you to see things their way or not to see something that may be happening. It's time to clear that chakra. All cords you have attached to anyone else, breathe them back in with love to be cleansed and purified and return to the universe to be reused now. Fill this chakra with light and love, knowing that you are limitless in your ability to use your intuition. Knowing that you are limitless in your ability to see clearly and accurately with your sixth sense. Know that you are limitless in your ability to use your creativity for whatever endeavors you may choose. Now bring your awareness to your seventh or crown chakra, located in the top of your head, and this is your spirituality center. You are going to remove any blockages, barriers, fears, limitations, and old, outdated patterns surrounding your spiritual connections. For all the times you were told you were a sinner just because you were born, all the times the church judged you for whatever it was you were doing in just living, or all the times you were seen as a hypocrite and hypocrisy between what the church was doing and what it was saying, or any time you denied your own spiritual truth for the sake of someone else's. Anytime you felt your higher self or God or the Supreme Being or the Great Spirit or Buddha or Allah or whatever your truth is was not there for you. All the times you felt spiritually alone or you judged your guides for not being there for you. Or any past life when you died for your spiritual beliefs. And any past life when you weren't allowed to practice your religion. This cord represents someone wants you to live your life the way they want you to. Now it's time to clear that chakra. All cords you have attached to anyone else, breathe them back in with love to be cleansed and purified and restored to the universe now. When finished, fill this chakra with the light and love, knowing that you are limitless in your ability to pursue your own spiritual truth. To recognize it and pursue it in the most harmonious way for you. Knowing that you are limitless in your ability to always be connected to your higher self, that it's there for you all the time. Your being, your guides, your guardian angels are there for you 24 hours a day throughout your lifetime. You may now reconnect any cords that you feel you need to have, such as your children, spouse, significant other, or pet. And when you have finished, you may slowly come back to the present, feeling lighter and brighter. And I'm going to bring John from the Bible in. Greetings, people. I am so glad to be here with you in this lovely space of Seabeck, where the nature brings old energy. These trees have been here for many, many years, and the environment here is a very special one. When you come to this retreat, you are not in the same environment that you would find at home. This is a very special place that you have come to enjoy, relax, and learn. And I want to applaud all of you that are here today and let you know how proud I am of your courage to actually address these items, realizing that you have been living in a box and now you can exit the box from all those limitations, barriers, and fears and be the true person you were created to be in the pure love of your Creator. Prime Creator is pure love. That's what you are too. And with releasing all these barriers and connections that you did today, I wish you the best of adventures in finding a new life where you can be yourself totally, honest and true to what is best for you in your heart, knowing that you are loved and always have been loved, and that you deserve the best because you are always able to create what you need in this higher realm. And that best is your gift of doing the right work at the right time as the planet evolves into a higher consciousness where you will match that higher consciousness with your new understanding and a new clean heart that has removed the barriers that block your ability to ascend. Congratulations on your journey into a new life, a new understanding. As the planet is moving into the new life and understanding, you will be matching that energy. As you know, in spirituality, like attracts like, you have now attracted a new higher life, a new higher life path that will bring joy, gratitude, compassion, and great love. I wish you well on your journey as you find that your new path and progress, and move forward with laughter in your heart and joy in your mind and know that all is well, all is good, and it always has been, as the past will no longer be an element to stop anything from bringing the best to you that you deserve and have, through your birthright, always deserved. We appreciate that you are here today and here at this retreat, growing and learning, and we wish you the best of wishes as this path of yours continues into even higher and higher learning, consciousness, and understanding. May God bless you always. You have always been blessed. Appreciate, enjoy, and know that you are truly on the right path, and your hearts are opening more and more daily to enjoy. Let that happen. Knowing that it's okay just to be who you were created to be, and that's the way it was meant to be emotionally in all parts of your life from the origin. And you are going back to the origin from where you came, closer and closer into that source that created you, on a journey that will be wonderful. May God be with you on that journey as you have new eyes and a new heart opened up to the reality of love, which is what you are. Thank you for being here today, and I wish you all the best on that journey. We have time for a few questions if anybody has some questions. Remember, you're not limitless. You can ask them.
Can you remove cords attached to somebody's past?
Yes, because their energy is still with you, even though you don't see them both, visually. Your family, even though they pass over, is still with you. I connect with my mother. My mother was mentally ill. Today we get along great, okay? She's in spirit. She did her job. She did it the way it was necessary for me to learn the lessons I needed, and I understand that today. And I have great compassion for her today of what she actually accomplished in her mental illness. So we actually can have a better relationship with those passed over. That's a great question. Any other questions?
As far as removing cords, you talked about like gently pulling them out so as to not leave any trace of them behind, right? Is that true?
And you don't like raw edges, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
So that they're smooth and I'm trying to think of the right words, but when you just chop something rather than have an ending, like your shoelaces have a little tip at the end because it frays and otherwise, so that it's not going to be fraying, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's a salve or a way to make it comfortable and not a hurtful type of thing.
And also, kind of cauterize it.
Yeah,
so
that's
to
a good
speak.
way to think of it.
That's what I was going to ask was like when I'm hiking in my cord, the paracord, if I need to use that, I light it on fire and push the endings together to make it like that little hard casing that you get on the end of your shoelace.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that like you need to cauterize as you go?
The cord.
Yeah. So, you can pull it out, and that's not really bad. But if you cut them, then the edges are raw, I guess you'd say, and you don't want to leave raw edges.
If you aren't real thorough about it, though, can they like reattach or kind of regrow? I read that somewhere. If you're not careful about,
They only can come back if you allow it.
Okay.
See, that's one of the things that we're still learning in our spiritual growth is everything that happens is what we choose, or even if it's subconscious or from a past life or the script we wrote before we came in, it's all coming from us.
We agree to.
And we can't be attached to anybody if we don't allow it. And so what happened in my case, I was a great victim, but I didn't know that you could get out of it because of my circumstances. And I had to learn, of course, later in life, didn't have to stay a victim. Just because they're trying to perpetrate you, I don't have to play their game. And if you're completely powerful, you just say, thank you very much, and walk away. You don't have to be attached to things that are not in your best interest. So it doesn't matter if it was the past. Oh, one of the things that I was in transit, and they wanted me to tell you, it wasn't really about a courting. If you made a vow in a past life, now is the time to disengage that vow. I was a nun in a past life, and we took vows of poverty. Can you believe? So, I had to release that vow of poverty, and if you've ever taken any kind of a vow, you would want to release that so it's not part of this, where we are now today. That's another life, been there, done that. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Marilyn.
Well, and thank you for coming, and I appreciate your, hopefully you will benefit. I know you will.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.